In this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the Business Catalyst interface. But first, let's create a brand new Muse project. To do that, go up to File and select New Site. Or, in the Welcome menu, click New, and then OK. And even though we don't have any content, let's publish the site to Business Catalyst. To do that, click Publish in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to give our new site a name. Let's call it Plural Site. Select Options, and in the Publish To dropdown, you have two options. You can either publish to a new site or to an existing site, if you've created Business Catalyst sites in the past. In this example, we're going to create a new site, and you can also change the URL. By default, the URL matches the site name. This URL needs to be unique, so if it's already taken, Muse will change the URL to make it unique. So always check to see if the URL is what you want. In this case, it's perfect, so click OK. Muse is now creating a new Business Catalyst site, and when it's done, it'll open up a new tab in our default browser so we can take a look. Now, of course, we don't have anything to view because we haven't added any content yet. So let's go back to Muse. You'll see that Muse is encouraging us to add users and to assign a custom domain. If we click the first link, we are brought to the Business Catalyst admin where we can add users. That may be someone else helping to develop the site or someone who will be managing the online business once the site is live. Whoever it is, by adding them here, we will give them access to the Business Catalyst admin. Okay, if we click the second link, this again brings us to the Business Catalyst admin, but now we can launch the site and add custom URLs. All right, let's go back to Muse. And you don't have to worry about either of these options. Most likely, you wouldn't take these steps at this time anyway. Now, to gain access to the Business Catalyst admin, once we hit OK, you can go up to File and select Manage Business Catalyst Site. Again, this opens up the Business Catalyst admin. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see my brand, Thrize. And if you look closely, you can see that the URL contains thrize.com. I'm what Adobe calls a Business Catalyst partner. I signed up for a premium partner program where I can white label or rebrand Business Catalyst. This is so when my customers log in to manage their sites, they see my branding instead of Business Catalyst branding. Now, keep in mind that the branding on your site will look different than the branding on my site, but the functionality will be exactly the same. The first link in the top ribbon is Preview. If you are in the admin and you want to go to the front end of the site, you simply click Preview. A new tab will open up and you will see your site. Now, of course, currently we don't have any content, so it's blank. But if we had site content, you would see it here. All right, so let's go back. If you want to use the built-in Business Catalyst in Context Editor, just come over to Edit. Again, this will open up the front end of our site, but the difference here is that we're not just previewing, we can actually make changes. Now, we don't have any content, but if we did, we would make the changes here. You would just hover over the content, click Edit, make the change, and then hit Update. This will allow you, or your clients, to quickly make changes to content without needing to code. This is helpful for any user that doesn't have access to your Muse files. We'll get more into that later. Okay, let's close that out. The third link puts you in Manage mode. This is the mode we're currently in, which is likely the area you will spend most of your time. All right, the fourth link is the App Store. You will only see this link if you are a Business Catalyst partner. The App Store offers third-party apps or plugins for Business Catalyst sites to make certain functionality easier. All right, let's go back to the dashboard. Now, if you're in the admin and you ever want to get back to the dashboard, simply go over to the left-hand menu and the dashboard is always at the top. This is the typical landing page after you log in. This gives you a snapshot of the activity on your site. Since this is a very basic site, the amount of information is limited. Later, we'll be upgrading and you'll have more data to review. If you click Launch Site, you will have one of two options, depending on when you opened your Creative Cloud account. If you purchased your Creative Cloud before April 30th, 2015, you will have the option of using up to one of your 5 Business Catalyst sites that came with your Creative Cloud subscription. If you purchased your subscription after that date, or have upgraded or downgraded since then, unfortunately, that option is no longer available. I'm going to click Launch Site. You can see that I have one left. That's because I've used 4 already. All right, I'm going to click Cancel. Now the message to the right is just telling you that you can share the site with others or that you can delete the site. Now, if we click the Delete the Site link, it brings us to the site management page. Now, you don't have to get to this page by that link. You can always go over to the left-hand menu, go under Site Settings, click Site Management, and that will bring you to this page. And on this page, you can either delete the site or you can transfer it to another Business Catalyst partner. All right, let's go back. And below that, there is a link to the site domains page where you can add your own custom URL. Now, of course, you would need to launch the site before you can add any domain name. So if you click Add a Domain, Business Catalyst will warn you that you need to launch the site before you do that. But you can always go over to Site Settings, go to Site Domains, and that will bring you to the same page. And again, we have a warning that before you can add a custom domain, you need to launch the site, which makes sense. Now, under Site Domains, under Site Settings, you have Admin Users. On this page, you can add others. You have a limit of 3 user invites. User roles is where you can assign different admin users to different roles. With this package, this isn't all that helpful, but with an upgraded package, you assign different user roles to workflows, cases, or even restrict their permissions. We'll get into some of that in a later video. Okay, here's a trick if you want to get a little bit more access to this account. If you're only going to be using Muse, then you might not need any of these features, but it's good to know you have access to them if needed. Now, go up to your settings, go to your name, go to My Details. All right, you can scroll down and check Enable Advanced Editing for this site. Let's click Save. Put your password in. All right, let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so a few things just happened. One thing is you'll notice that we have a Develop tab up on the top. And if we click this, it opens up the Develop mode. And in the Develop mode, you can edit the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript of your site. And if you're using Adobe Muse, you probably won't be spending much time in the Develop mode, but it's good for you to know that it's here if you need it. Now, let's go back to Manage mode. And if we go under Site Manager, you'll notice that we have some more options available. And some of these options will give you more access to the files and folders of the site. Okay, now that you have a better idea of what you get with the most basic of accounts, in the next video, we'll walk you through how this works with a full Muse site.